Told y'all before it was supposed to the bowl. Nothing but the repeat with wins back on the throne. All we do is set trends, so you know what we on. Yep, I'm back with the remix, it's 4th and JAWN. All birds, all Philly, midnight green. Things changing for the better since we got that ring. Put the league on notice, we're not done. 2019, we adding another one. Yeah, you heard me right on every Tuesday night. 8 to 10 birds of a feather got that flight. Nothing but the hot takes. Back with the big facts for the fans, by the fans, exactly where we at. Pull up to the tailgate, stop by F1. Baptized by the Pope, been bass for everyone. Flying in from the West Coast, even overseas. Get blessed by Ginger Jesus, we disciples of the tree. E-A-G, wait, C-H-M-P. S, don't stress, we on the same conquest. Dominate the division, destroy the NFC, conquer the AFC. Grab that Vince Lombardi, Wentz to AJ, climb it up the gut. Be grand with the strip sack, this sound familiar, huh? Aguilar on the slot, Sproles with the return, Mills with the pick six. Okay, wait, it gets worse. J Train on the run, J.E. hitting from 60. Fletcher C in that D-line, that's what you don't want to see. Ertz catching tubs, foes on another level. The Super Bowl ain't the only time you see that Philly special. We live from Broad Street, brotherly loves the heartbeat. Hungry dogs run faster and we don't eat cheap. No one likes us and we don't care, cause we from Philly and we ain't never scared. Look up.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready?
What's up, Philadelphia? We are live broadcasting from Wildfire Sports Studios. Welcome to 4th and JAWN, episode 64. Boys and girls, training camp is over. It is done. Went by fast, didn't it? And as of this Thursday, we are 3 weeks away from shit getting real. And the NFL season opening up at Lincoln Financial Field. Now, it wasn't too long ago when all those players rolled into the NovaCare complex for the first time at training camp, and they were all given a shirt. And on the shirt it said, "Embrace the target." And while I appreciate the message, because that is the goal, the target, and you should embrace it. Basically, winning another Super Bowl, defending the crown, nothing above the repeat, winning another one, and hopefully getting this Philadelphia Eagles team to that D word, that dynasty. But while I appreciate the message, embrace the target, it's in the wrong spot. Because the target is not in the front of you, it's on your back. And that's what happens when you're world champs. Everyone's gunning for you. In my show prep today, as I was coming down here to Wildfire Studios, I went through the schedule, and I started penciling in those W's and those L's. Because that's what we're going to do after the 4th preseason game. We're all going to do what we did last year. Put down our predictions, put them in an envelope, seal them up, go back and revisit them at the end of the season. But I started penciling into those W's and those L's. The only problem was there's no L's. I'm penciling in W, 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 W. And I got to the realization that as defending Super Bowl champions, a position that we've never been in before, winning is now an expectation. You expect to win every game. Last year, that wasn't the expectation. We rolled into Kansas City and knew that was going to be a tough game. We might not come out of there with a W. We went into Seattle last year. Maybe we're not going to win this one. Ooh, this is a tough game. This is a playoff caliber team. We went to Los Angeles last year and didn't know whether we were rolling out with a dub or an L. This year, I look up and down the schedule, and I see W's across the board. So now, all of a sudden, we're in a unique situation where we are embracing the target that is the Super Bowl, but the target is on our back. So let's not forget, training camp might be over, but the journey is just beginning. And it's a different journey, because now winning is the expectation. Embrace the target. And my fuse is lit! And my fuse is lit, baby! I love it. Mr. Gail Saunders, Eagle Sessions on Twitter. How are you doing today, sir? I'm embracing the greatness, and the other thing to talk about is the culture that has been cultivated in this locker room. That's one of the common denominators
with all these wins. The winning culture that they had throughout last season has carried over into this season. A lot of these guys know what it takes to win. Well, last year you might have added some guys that had Super Bowl experience. Now, like 3/4 of the team has Super Bowl experience. They know what it takes to get there. But I think just seeing some of the younger guys this week kind of lit my fuse.
Yes, sir.
Seeing guys like Dallas Goedert out there dominating like I knew he would. That makes me feel good. I feel like there's some little pieces on the back end, but other than that, I feel good, man. I feel good. I'm feeling comfortable in what I'm seeing.
And the good news is Dallas Goedert's arm still attached.
Still there.
It's okay.
It regenerated.
The rumors that somehow spread like wildfire to the point where I'm scrolling up, burning a hole through my phone, just refreshing the timeline. Like, what's up with Dallas Goedert?
I took a photo of that when he was walking out.
We both did.
And I was looking through the timeline, just the other people's like timelines, and some guy took the same photo and kept asking like every single person about his arm, and I'm like,
he looks fine.
He's fine.
He's all right.
It just he looked uncomfortable. I didn't go out and say it looked broken or it was falling off.
Look at this dude.
Well, speaking of injuries and speaking of the locker room culture and what it takes to win and the new norm and everything, one of the things that it was a great experience during that Super Bowl run was the next man up mentality. In other words, when one guy goes down, you got to have another guy to fill that role and do it well and perform on the field to the point where the rest of your teammates trust you to get the job done. And today it was asked of Doug Peterson whether one Alshon Jeffrey coming off of rotator cuff surgery might be placed on the PUP list.
Alshon may start the season on the PUP list. Can you comment on the validity of that?
You know what? We didn't. I'm not going to comment on it because we're still obviously we're just we're monitoring his progress. It's day to day. We're happy where he's at, and we'll continue to do that. But I'm not sure where that came from.
Yeah, not sure where it came from. I think it came from the same guy who said that Carson Wentz was going to open up training camp on the PUP list. So you can never take these things. You got to take these reports with a grain of salt.
It's coming from Rap Sheet.
It's coming from Rap Sheet.
Ian Rappaport. He's been missing lately. I think his
didn't he miss on the Carson Wentz thing?
He's been missing. So don't take his word.
It's not like we're talking about Shefty said it.
Right.
It's not like Shefty said it. Not only that, I think that Alshon Jeffrey being placed on the PUP is worst case scenario. I don't even think it's going to happen. In other words, he has to be out the first 6 games of the season.
6 games.
That's huge. That's over a third of the season that he would have to be out after having rotator cuff surgery. Now, let's say he's not ready week 1. Let's say he's 3 weeks away from being eligible to go on the field and actually contribute and do a good job and perform like he should, like he did last year, but which, by the way, still injured. All right? You're not putting him on the PUP because let's say it's 3 weeks. I'd rather have 3 weeks of Alshon Jeffrey not on any designation, sitting in street clothes on the sidelines, and then have him ready for week 4 than I would put him on the PUP. If he ends up on the PUP, the injury and the rehab moving forward is a lot worse than you thought because they're willing to just write off over a third of the season that Alshon isn't going to be available. I don't think it's going to be like that. Anybody who's had rotator cuff surgery knows it takes about a full year after surgery to get full mobility and full strength back on that shoulder. Now, that's any dude off the street. You're dealing with a professional training staff. Evan, you had rotator cuff surgery?
I tore my rotator cuff, yeah. And
okay.
I was out. I had the surgery, and I was in rehab for about 4 months. And it was, like you said, I'm a regular average Joe off the streets, but and I'm not training every day to play football. But it's an injury that takes time and it lingers. It's something that you can't do regular exercises with. Like even when I felt I was fully healed, I still couldn't do regular like sort of flat bench pressing in the gym or anything like that. It's something that like you need to keep your arm in very particular spots.
Yeah, and you're not going to get this soon 100%. You might be at 85%. You might be at 85% mobility, 85% strength. But just know that he's working out the rest of his body. Like it's not like he's going to come in looking like Kelvin Benjamin, all sorts of overweight and out of shape, and have Cam Newton get all up it. By the way, did you see that one? Oh. Kelvin Benjamin looked like he was about to get swung on.
Does he look like a bitch?
A little bit.
I don't think Kelvin wanted the smoke.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't want the smoke.
He kept on trying to get away.
Now, do you know what Kelvin Benjamin said about Cam Newton before he went up to him like that?
Not exactly. He said something in regards to like
I heard
Cam
he
Newton's
said-
accuracy or something
And
like
I heard
that.
he said that Drew Peterson, throws the best football that he's ever caught.
I give Cam Newton credit.
The guy who threw 5 interceptions in one.
I'm not a big Cam guy.
Oh, Nathan Peterman.
Nathan Peterman.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I was
Nathan
talking
Peterman.
I'm not a big Cam guy, but I give him a lot of credit for, okay, you said this, and I'm going to come up and talk to you about it.
Face to face, like
I'm
a man.
going to put my hands behind my back so I don't throw these hands, but I'm gonna talk to you about it.
Surprise, baby!
Yeah. I give him a lot of credit.
He rolled up on him like he was like Brittany Griner.
Okay. He didn't want no smoke.
Okay, Brittany.
That's a bad look, Benjamin. That's a bad look. Anyway, getting back to the rotator cuff surgery, going on that next man up scenario, if Alshon Jeffrey's not ready to go week 1, week 2, let's say even up to week 3, do you look for an outside receiver, Gale, or do you try to address it in-house?
You got to address it in house. But you know, the one thing that's kind of concerning, Matt Collins has gotten all these reps with the first team. He hasn't really sparked in camp. You know, a lot of the beat writers were saying that they wanted to see more from him. So he had that opportunity to like blow it off the. Blow it out. Like I know Evan was saying that's his guy.
Yeah, that was.
He was putting up some. You were saying he was a breakout player.
I thought he was gonna. Yeah. We still got time.
I know we do. Hopefully, you know, maybe he's a game time dude.
Yeah.
A game time player. But I think you got Mike Wallace who's really been stepping it up. Mike Wallace is my guy this season. I think he's gonna put up some numbers. I mean, you have Nelson Aguilar. I mean, we do have some depth, but Nelson Aguilar has been out the last couple practices as well.
That is true. But even still as it is, if your wide receiver lineup is Mike Wallace, Nelson Aguilar, and Matt Collins on the outside, I'm still okay with that.
And then you can go 2 tight end sets.
And then you can go 2 tight end sets, sets with Yak Ertz and one-armed Goddard.
Yep.
Dirt, I now call him.
Yep.
But the concerning part is, like, let's say Alshon is out week 1, 2, 3, whatever it might be, if at all. 11 better be in there. 11 better be. Do we got a sound clip of Doug Peterson talking about 11? We don't. We have Doug Peterson talking about a sound clip
on Hackenberg.
Of Hackenberg.
Oh, geez.
Which was just a very curious, like, okay, question, why?
Hackenberg?
Yeah, why Hackenberg?
Well, I mean, Carson Wentz is not going to be playing in any preseason games. You don't want to put Nick Foles out there too much. Mm-hmm. So, Callahan, the camp arm, didn't really perform too well. So, Hackenberg is another camp arm to compete with Callahan.
Yeah, I kind of saw, like, when Hackenberg was signed, people on the timeline saying, well, he's a developmental guy. Maybe Doug Peterson can kind of bring the quarterback. He is a crash test dummy. Maybe they keep him and develop him. Maybe they trade him for a pick later on. Nah, bro. This guy is because so they don't have to look at the Suddy and Average Joe show during the training camp period, and they put Christian Hackenberg to be a crash test dummy against Jordan, for Jordan Mailata.
That's what I was going to say.
And then in his first 2 throws, he got intercepted. So he went 2 for 6 for 20 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
Now, we do have a Penn Stater in studio.
Oh.
So how do you feel about this sighting, my friend, Justin?
Say it with your chest!
I mean, I really like Christian Hackenberg as a player, not in the NFL. I liked him in college, obviously, and for beyond just his play. I like his personality. I like his morale. I like what he stands for.
Not a mercy.
He's not going to be here in, 4 to 6 weeks.
No, he's a rental.
He's going to be, he's exactly what you said, a crash test. I mean, he's week 4 against the Jets. That's why he's here.
His big home game. The revenge game.
They drew first blood. They drafted me in the 2nd round. I'll show them.
Boy, the Jets, man. How many mistakes have they
I have
made?
his jersey too. I have his Penn State jersey.
Oh,
Not his Eagles. I have his Penn State jersey. I do.
Of course,
I mean, they drafted Bryce Petty as well. You know, they've been looking for
Geno
those quarterbacks.
Smith.
Yeah,
They've been just combing through. Do you
They call him
think
Glassjaw Gino.
do you think Darnold went there, right?
Sam Darnold.
Yep.
He looked good.
He looked good. You
I
think,
thought
he's going to be the truth up there?
Yeah, I thought that was the correct pick. I'm glad that the Giants didn't pick Sam Darnold.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
But then again, they do have Saquon.
And he's got a little quad issue, right? He's got it wrapped up.
Hamstring. Yeah.
That's what I like to see. That'd be-
Oh, Gale, savage right on.
no,
the bat.
it's a tender hamstring. Keep him out a couple games. Practices.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
How are you holding up, my friend, with the news that your estranged son tore his ACL?
You know,
down in Redskins.
He was trying to-
How are you holding
He
up?
was trying
with
to
that?
make that paper for the whole family. You know, really upset.
He needs some milk.
We do need some
we
milk.
shouldn't be laughing.
We
We should
do.
not be laughing.
I mean, it's funny because a lot of Eagle fans were in love with the idea of the Eagles drafting Darius Geis.
Including myself.
And then he gets injured. You never like to see players get injured. I actually wanted to see him in like training camp and the preseason games, but obviously he won't be around. He'll be out for this season. But that's tough for my family.
Working Facebook Live today, we have our boy Philly Mike. If you're tuning in, make sure you tune in on Facebook Live. You see the entire show, start to finish, even a little before and even a little after. Some behind-the-scenes stuff. So, Philly Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing good. You know, we've been talking about injuries for the beginning of the show, and one injury that hasn't come up is Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham has been under the radar for me, so I don't know how you guys are feeling about that, if you guys are cautious about him starting in a few weeks. It's just for me, I'm pretty concerned because I feel like he's not going to be starting for quite a few games if he's been this much under the radar, especially through Twitter from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, you think about Brandon Graham, that guy logged the most snaps out of all the defensive linemen, logged 65% of the snaps. You think about him coming in, he's not going to be in shape, so he actually admitted that it's going to take him a while to get into game shape, so that could be 2 games.
I don't think he's even showing up for practices at all, has he? He hasn't shown up for the open practices.
He was actually practicing, like warming up on the sidelines, but like to get into that game playing shape, that's a different beast. You know what I mean? He had the ankle surgery, so
yeah, yep.
Lacey, that is an excellent like Twitter poll question because you're kind of deep at both positions. You're talking about Brandon Graham at defensive end. We got a lot of defensive ends, right? A lot of guys that can fill in. You got Bennett there, so he can certainly fill in those shoes. Maybe not play the run as well as Brandon Graham, but certainly, be effective at the defensive end position. And then you got Alshon Jeffrey. Deep at, I would like to say we're pretty deep at wide receiver. So while he is not, his build and his style and his body type and the 50-50 ball ability might be missed, what is the, besides 11, what's the biggest injury concern moving into the start of the season? Is it Brandon Graham missing time, or is it Alshon Jeffrey missing time? I'd be curious to see those results because they're two guys who you need to make that championship run, but 2 guys right now who are question marks to get in for the regular season. Who are we going to miss more if that time comes?
Yeah, I mean, but also another guy we're not even talking about is Timmy Jernigan, who's out, who missed. He had logged 48% of the snaps. Mm-hmm. Vinny Curry logged 56% of the snaps. So you're talking about, replacing some guys, Bo Allen played,
Do you have Barnett's percentage on there?
Yeah, Barnett played 41% of the snaps.
So that'll be hiked up.
So you're asking, Haloti Nada, you're asking Michael Bennett to actually contribute in different ways and step up, especially on rundowns. That's the biggest key for this defense. I mean, we have a lot of pass rushers that get those sacks in 3rd and long, so we got to be strong against the run.
Yeah, no doubt, especially if we don't even have Jernigan for a few games now, too. He's going to be out for a little while.
He'll be out for a while.
Yeah.
We already knew, he is – we don't know how much time, if at all, Alshon's going to miss. We don't know how much time, if at all, Brandon Graham's going to miss. We knew Jernigan was going to miss time.
I still want to know what he did to hurt his back.
Who knows?
I mean, was he having sex? This dude.
First guess, I guess.
That's awesome.
What's up, Shirley? In studio.
We got our dude Gary running out to the car right now. He is from the Philly Parade costume, guys. He's the guy that basically reproduced Jason Kelce's parade costume, and he's bringing it in studio as we speak. He's going to be here in a second with the parade costume. He also brought a couple hats. Now, this is going to be the official attire for the 4th and JAWN home opener tailgate, which, by the way, while Gary's getting that, we got a couple surprises coming up for the 4th and JAWN tailgate. I would like to tell you about them. Number one, our dude Brennan. You might know him as the hot dog is a sandwich man, okay? Hot take, but a correct take, okay? He is a professional actor. Right now, he's actually in 2 shows on stage. He came to me and said, EROCK, I have the entire Jason Kelce speech memorized, start to finish, mannerisms, tempo, and all. So we were in the process of actually building him a stage to put up on a truck tailgate. And you know me with the DJ equipment, I have the microphone. And the guys from Philly Parade costume, he got one. Oh. So beard and all, parade costume and all, we're going to have a complete reenactment of Jason Kelce's parade speech.
So this tailgate's got quite a bunch of events going on in it.
It's like a circus.
Do you have a timeline? Do you have a schedule that
An
ready to
itinerary?
go?
I better show up
What
early.
time should I show up there?
You better
what
show
time
up
is
early.
this going on at?
There is literally going to be like a show huddle meeting as soon as we set everything up to have like the time coordinated. Like, this is happening at this time. This is happening. We're going to have an itinerary.
And Justin tends to show up a little late.
Yeah,
you know,
I gotta
drunk
know what
with,
time.
with a champagne bottle with orange juice.
Hungover.
Yeah,
With a couple platters of food. That'll be good.
Yeah, but
Stained Deshaun jersey.
this isn't a 1 o'clock game though. So I'll be able to get there at a reasonable time. Those 1 o'clock games just too early for me.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to see Brennan pop off with the Kelce. But not only does he do Kelce, he also does Merrill Reese.
He does Merrill
This
Reese
guy
as
is multi-talented.
And the guy grows a professional beard.
And he does EROCK. He does. He did all.
E-Rock
He
real
did
well.
all of our impersonations.
So we've got the jersey burning going on. We've got Brennan doing the full reenactment of Jason Kelce's speech. We also got, and I just found him. You remember that guy, like after the Eagles won the NFC Championship game, the guy that was out in Philadelphia with his shirt off with the bird mask on?
Yeah, buddy.
I found him.
What? No way.
And he's coming to the tailgate.
How are you able to identify him?
You throw it out to Twitter, and they find these people.
That's right.
Justin,
Is it too fucking easy guy coming?
what I am doing.
We need everybody, all the characters.
Here is my goal. Because there have been a lot of social media like figures, right? During the Eagles Super Bowl. He's next. Like these social media people, the featured individuals that you saw on all the videos and everything. I'm trying to collect them like Pokemon, right? I'm trying to collect them all. And just bring them all to the tailgate, so you can get a picture with Jason Kelce costume. You can get a picture with the dude with no shirt on with his bird.
Tracks in the bushes.
The Jason Kelce with I'm sorry, the guy with no shirt on with the Birds mask on. I need somebody to reach out to the Go Birds kid. You know him?
He randomly sent me a DM a couple months ago.
Oh, hitting your DMs.
All
Justin.
he said to me was, "You don't get bent like me."
Oh, bent.
You don't get bent
how?
like me. I didn't know what to respond to him, so all I said back was "Go Birds."
So you have him.
Yeah.
You have
we
his app.
follow each other on Twitter.
So
me, him, and whoever runs the Green Legion account had a really awkward conversation a couple months ago.
do tell.
The Go Birds kid, I guess he was just drunk at like 2 in the afternoon and just starts like adding me and the Green Legion account. And I thought he was adding at me, so I just ignored it for a little bit until I saw the Green Legion starting to respond to him. So then I started responding as well, and all he kept wanting to do is compare who gets drunker, us or him.
I'm gonna get real weird.
Yeah, really weird.
Okay.
You don't get bent like me, Justin.
He's also quite young.
Like
And my fuse is
121.
I think so.
Okay,
he
we'll
looked
try to
good.
get him to the tailgate
I don't know. I
regardless.
can't confirm that, but maybe.
And if any of the Twitter followers out there have any special requests for like characters or somebody, hey, you should invite this guy to the tailgate. Please let us know. Add us at 4th and JAWN. Let us know.
You go to
who
get the
else should
guy
be
that
there.
cuts the eagle's head into the hair.
I got to reach out to Dom the Barber. I'm sure Dom the Barber would be down.
It's like
I got to reach out to the guy who ran into the pole on the subway.
I
got to reach out to that guy.
He follows me on Twitter.
He follows you?
Yeah.
All right, Gail, your project is going to be to get the subway guy.
We're going to form
I've
the
got no
Avengers.
shirt Eaglehead guy. You're going to get Go Birds guy. And all right, so this right here is the Philly Casa. I'm going to start trying this guy's on, so you guys take the conversation. All right, this is cool, man.
Wow. Just looking at the costume, I'm gonna describe it. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's this green, luscious green.
It looks authentic as to what he was wearing that day. Oh man, those are some
EROCK, what are you wearing?
Pants you got there, pal.
What are you wearing, EROCK?
So Gary, tell me how you came up with the idea for this. How long this has been in production, where people can get it, and how quickly you can get it for people. Because I mean, the season's right around the corner.
The season's right around the corner. I'm here tonight to break the news that the costumes are in. They will begin shipping first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh.
So any orders that are placed at PhillyParadeCostume.com will ship within 48 hours of the order being received to our offices. We ship right here out of our office in New Jersey. So to the local area, you'll probably it's a very small shipping cost, and you'll have it in time for the opener. You know, when we saw the parade,
this goes like this, by the way.
That
right?
goes like that.
That goes
Yep.
like that.
Yep. So we saw the parade last year. Obviously, everyone who didn't see the parade,
it's crazy.
And when Mr. Kelce stepped up to that podium and just brought the house down,
rocked the world.
He brought the house down. You know, being a local costume manufacturer here in South Jersey, we said we've got to have the rights to do that. So we went and we searched out, and the gentleman who made the mummer suit, who owns the rights to the costume, we partnered up with him. You know, it's all on the up and up, you know, so, and we worked with him. He signed off on the look of the costume, and we think it's something every single fan needs.
Who the fuck is this asshole? Who the fuck is this asshole?
How do I look? It looks good, right?
That looks great. You are the embodiment of what we are looking for in this costume. You know, when I heard of what you were doing in the springtime, and you said, "This is what I need to do." This is, I mean, in our office when we were putting the marketing meetings together and stuff like that, we said this costume is for Joe Tailgate, Joe Parking Lot, and
you're looking at him,
and this is the group, and at your tail. I mean, we need to get every single person in this costume. You know, you log on PhillyParadeCostume.com.
You got 3 more of those bad boys.
It's offered now. Now we offer it in 3 different styles. Matter of fact, I have something for all you guys.
Oh, we got more gifts.
He brought enough for the rest
gifts.
of the class.
He brought presents. Hey.
Oh, here's the hats.
And the brand is even Rasta Impasta. That couldn't get more up your alley, man.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
So I've got gifts for you guys.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we do offer it in 3 different styles. We sell the hat alone, which is our entry-level price point. I'll tell you, it's $25 for the hat alone.
So you don't have to go full costume.
You
can
don't
just
have
get
to
the
go
hat.
full costume.
Okay.
The middle range is just the hat and the jacket. Okay. We thought we needed a range where if somebody wanted to wear it into the game, okay, you wear the hat, your jacket. You probably need a place for your keys and your wallet and stuff like that. So maybe you're wearing your own jeans, shorts, whatever time of the year it is. And then that you're wearing is our full deluxe costume, you know.
The deluxe model.
The deluxe model, the Halloween model, if you will.
All
you
right.
know, you've heard of the running of the Santas in Philly?
Yes,
You
sir.
know, we want to see the running of the Kelces at some point during the season in the parking lot.
Fire!
So you call it the Rasta Impasta?